Welcome back to the channel. So I want to talk to you about how I master getting close to myself. And I want you to really think about this when you're thinking about your self-care routines and your kind of barometer for burnout. And just think about how well do you actually look after yourself? How much of a master are you at looking after yourself? Something that I realised, especially with the relocation back to South Africa, is I was a master of looking after myself in my specific routine, in my specific space, in my specific way of living. And actually, when we moved to South Africa, the first sort of 6 weeks we were here, it was quite unsettling, in that we weren't in our own space. We were living with, my aunt. We were visiting people all the time. We had weddings and Hindus and birthdays and all sorts of events that we had to attend, and obviously wanted to attend. But they were all kind of in the calendar. We were looking for our forever home. We were buying cars, we were setting up bank accounts, we were getting SIM cards, we were doing all of these things that needed to be done. And something that I realised as I was going through that process is I forgot to look after myself because my structured routines were no longer in place. And this was really, really interesting for me. It was a real kind of light bulb moment, because I realised that we can master looking after ourselves in a space, but actually still not have mastered always looking after ourselves. And for me, I had to do 3 key things to get back into alignment, back into that routine of mastery. And I just wanted to share them with you because they might help. They might help you if you're in a place where you don't feel like you're looking after yourself enough. So the very first thing was putting boundaries in place. Saying, actually, this is how much time I'm going to spend with other people, this is how much time I'm going to spend working, and this is how much time I'm going to spend looking after myself. Because in the UK, we didn't have as many family and friends living close by, we didn't have as many social things to attend to, and our lives were very stable, we were very set up. With this relocation, it has meant that that is all gone. All of that stability is gone. And I really had to put that stability back in place and say, actually, I'm going to create this stability for myself and say, while we're getting to the point of moving into our house, which is literally a month away now, which is very exciting, we can create this space of having some stability. So the first thing was around boundaries. The second thing for me that was really, really important was to notice my consumption. So in the UK, I used to read and listen to things like podcasts, audiobooks, a lot of educational content. Since coming back to South Africa, I noticed that because I've been so busy and my brain is very tired, rather than topping up with things that actually fill me up, I was just picking up my phone and scrolling through social media. I was spending a lot of time absorbed into Facebook, Instagram, emails, like things that actually previously I would not have spent a lot of time doing. And that just compounded the amount of fatigue that I was feeling, because I was comparing myself to other people, thinking, oh my gosh, I'm not working enough in the business, oh my gosh, we're not doing that, we're not doing this, we should be doing this. And rather than just being present and being in my own space and being in my own thoughts and creating my own wisdom for the world, I was getting really caught up in feeling behind. And that was just compounding the fatigue and all of the concern that I was feeling around this kind of move and how unsettled I felt. So putting in some boundaries, and boundaries with other people, but boundaries with myself as well around my consumption on social media. The final thing that I needed to do was just to create some more space for myself. So again, in the UK, I was very set up. I would exercise every day, I would meditate every day, I would read every day, I'd listen to podcasts or audiobooks every day. I was very, very set up to support myself and my well-being. And since being home, I haven't necessarily had that space or created that space for myself. So literally as of the beginning of this week, I set up my yoga mat, got a little space set up in the house that we're staying in, and made sure that I'm getting on my mat every single day, even if it is just for 10 minutes, doing some stretches, doing some meditation, doing some mindful breathing, and just bringing myself back into center. Because when you are quiet and you're listening to yourself, you're much more likely to hear wisdom and be able to trust your intuition and follow through on the things that you know you need to, that kind of guided action. So for me, those are the kind of 3 fundamentals. Every single time I feel myself coming away, I know that I need to pull back through my boundaries, through my consumption, and through my mindfulness and my quiet time that I actually spend with myself. So hopefully this video has been helpful for you. All of this that I'm talking about in this video is stuff that I cover in the Soul Code program. So if you're sitting here thinking, I would love to dive into this in more detail, I'd love to understand how to set up these routines for myself, I'd love to figure out what my 3 fundamentals are in my own routine, because they'll be different for everyone, then please consider coming into the Soul Code program. I have got a link just below that you can click on and it'll tell you all about the Soul Code program. But we've got 9 months, 9 learning modules that will help you reconnect and build a stronger connection with you and who you truly are and how you truly want to show up in the world. And I'm literally so excited to run this program. I have opened the Voxer support group already this week. So if you're sitting on the edges thinking that you want to come and join us, please click the link below and get involved. I literally cannot wait to have you in the program or to see you on a future video. I'll chat to you soon.